I'm Bob McLeod, and you're watching Omni X-Men.
What is up, gang? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. Technically, the first kickoff show of the new year for this channel. Omni X-Men has technically been back since our winter break last episode was over on John's channel. But yeah, we're talking more Omni X-Men here. We are on Volume 5. This is Season 6, and we're talking Giant Size X-Men Annual number 9. We're already on number 9. Pretty crazy because I think we kicked off at 3 and they've all been wild rides, including this one tonight. So excited to break that stuff down. Of course, when I say we, it is not just me. It is my co-host and good friend, John, from John's Comics with Friends. What's up, John?
Oh,
yeah.
I come from the land of the ice and snow.
I'm going to get a copyright strike now.
Not with my quality of singing. So you're good. Hey, the goddess of thunder, gang. That's what we're doing tonight. Heck
yeah. Should have had some lightning bells and whistles going off on this intro here. Dude, I am so excited for this because I've always seen this cover, man, and I'm like, finally get to read this book. I've never read it, so curious to hear your thoughts when we dive in. But
and I have not read it in an incredibly long time, so this was a nice like return. And I had never read the preceding volume that we did last week with Greg, the New Mutants Special Edition 1, which is ultimately the first half of the story. So I can't believe I never really knew the first half of the storyline.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I definitely think that plays a big part. And so for anybody who's tuning in or watching the replay, if you didn't watch or read last issue or watch episode last, maybe you want to go check that out first. We did break the entire thing down over 2 hours and 20 minutes with our good friend Greg, so a lot of entertainment there, to say the least. If you want to check that out, I put John's link in the description. But hey, we have another guest, as we always do, and it's another favorite of mine. Excited to have him back on the channel. It's been a little while since he was such an early pick last season, as we were just talking backstage. But yes, it is our good friend Bobby Delgado. What is up, Bobby?
Station, fellas.
Look
Happy to be here.
Yeah. I gotta get me one of those, man.
Tony's the guy to ask. Old Wolf, he's been making some special ones for Bobby.
Yeah, man.
Straw Hat shows up.
Yeah. That's all I got right now. Bobby, how's it hanging, brother? We appreciate you always hanging in the chat, always being part of the show, and excited to have you on, man. How you been?
Yeah, man, been doing all right. Pleasure to be here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of craziness going on in the world, but, we'll leave that outside. And I love you guys. I'm happy to be here. And this was the issue. I won 2 years in a row, man. So I'm going for my third one. I don't know. The Chiefs couldn't do 3 in a row, but maybe I can.
He's going for that. He's going for that hat trick. Look at him.
Double the beauty right there.
My double. And one of them signed there. Yeah, one of mine signed by the man, Art Adams. Yeah, I had
awesome, man.
I met him. He came through KC, and he was charging like $20 a sig. So I had to be careful on what I chose. It living me down, but this was one of the ones I chose, and there's a reason, man, because it's a great one. Yeah,
well chosen.
You're gonna be hearing me saying some beautiful artwork a few times in this. This here.
I'll be echoing you for sure.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Well, hey, for those watching or tuning in, watching the replay, if you guys do not know Bobby, you certainly should make sure you follow his Instagram account. Hit him up. He's also across the YouTube world on all of our good friends channels throughout the comic community. So I'm sure you'll see Bobby around. But definitely reach out, follow him over on Instagram if you don't already. Talk some comics with the man. And then, as I mentioned, make sure you're following John too, because we'll be back over on John's channel next Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern, as we've been doing. And we have, we're returning back to the main line of Uncanny X-Men, as we've kicked off in the beginning of the season, and we get to go to 200, another classic. So excited.
Trial of Magneto, baby.
Oh yeah. One other thing before we say hello to the chat, just want to remind everybody who's tuning in now or jumps in, make sure you stick around till after we break down this issue, because we do have questions along the way from last episode. So make sure to have your answers ready for that. Get your chance to get your name on the board and be able to win some really, really cool artwork, including our special our featured guest, the Fraim brothers. We have a commission piece that we've been showing off all throughout the season. You have a chance to win that at the end of the season coming up in June. So be ready for that as well. Fraim brothers, their links are down below as well. All right.
That's an awesome piece of artwork, man. Yeah, that it's got a very Cockrum kind of feel to it. They captured it. Yeah, he captured it. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah. Full spread too of covering the whole team there.
Yeah.
Well, let's say a quick hello to the chat. Yeah, see, John's he's already hyped and ready to go, talking about the Goddess of Thunder. Absolutely. We got our man Matt M Press Comics saying that he's got to wake up at 4 a.m. to do a call in the morning, so he's going to be watching the replay. That's okay, Matt. We love you, brother. Hope you're able to get up on time and take care of that, and then you can kind of play us in the background of your call. I'm sure that'd be pretty cool. They could tune in. Let's see. We got my man Ryan, aka Magic Lasso. Don't yuck the yummy. Hello, no good. John, CWF, Bobby. Hearing mixed things from
I can't tell if he's just having fun with me or if he's genuinely telling me that he's not a huge fan of this issue. So maybe he's jealous that there's another cool goddess in comic books. I don't know. But I'm watching out for you,
Defeated. We got our good friend Adam makes stuff up. What is going on, Adam? Said just a young gun with a quick fuse. I was uptight, want to let loose. I love it. Let's see. We got our good friend Candace in the chat. What is going on, Candace? Good to see you as always. Scrolling through, people saying hi to some people. Adam says this whole run is fantastic. This one, 200, 201. These are all great. I can't wait to get in.
Let them know, Adam. Let them know.
Yeah. Well, very cool. So let's get into this thing, because we got a good 50 some odd pages to kind of dive into. So we'll start here with the cover. Pull that up. So many things to be said about this cover. John, I'm going to start with you. What are your initial thoughts on this cover?
I mean, it is iconic, right? It is one of those covers you see on the walls at shops. You see this image a ton. I'm going to get my negative complaint out of the way first.
Okay.
I don't know why everything is so damn small on this cover. Like this cover is too damn small. Way too much room for a purple background and a brown building. Like I want blow this. I feel like I want to pinch and zoom this mother. Just like get in there. Give me. She's like a third of the size of the page. Yeah. You have Storm being the goddess of thunder, and you can't give her more than a third of the page. Blow this sucker up, man. Yeah. Give me full size page here. This just too tiny. However, getting that out of the way, got rid of my complaint. I love the perspective. I love the imagery. The fact that they do full Kirby style hammer spin, like the way, if you look at what art is doing here with the way the hammer is spinning, it is classic Kirby style. You go read those early Avengers, you see this spin. You go read those Journey into Mysteries, you're gonna see that hammer spin. I love it. I love the blur and all of it. The costume is cool, dude. It's cool. They even make room. They amplify her mohawk like she's one of the Valkyrie horses. Like it's just dope, man. All of that. I want to pinch and zoom. That's all I want. That's the only difference.
Yep. Well said. Bobby, what about you, my man? What did you think, or what do you think of this cover?
Man, I love it. You know what I mean? I remember seeing it on the stand. You know what I mean? I felt so strong about it. I bought two of them, and I knew it was going to be special. It's Storm, and she's, swinging the hammer of Thor. And I didn't realize till recently that it's an homage to Journey into Mystery, first appearance of Thor. If you look at the way they're falling behind her, and then it's a Walt Simonson did the inks on it. You can see his name on there. So it's an Art Adams Walt Simonson combination, and that's cool as hell. And then if you're a fan of head, I mean, there's 14 heads up in that corner box, and I think that's the most head I've seen in a corner box. I don't know, I could be wrong, but
no, I think you're right.
Yeah. And so I knew it was special, and like I said, I'm happy I got mine. And when I won the first choice of this year, that's the one that I looked through, and this is the one that there's a reason. Love it, man.
Smart man. Right after it.
Bobby, do you know, I was assuming this is around the same time Simonson is still doing 4 right now, right?
Exactly. Yep. That's why he's not they explained that he's not later in the story, because they're looking for him, but he's busy. Yep.
Which is cool. That makes me want to check that out too. There were several references back to
they mentioned Beta Ray Bill and
stuff.
Yep. On those buildings, you can see the Simonson on those buildings on that brown building.
Right at her feet.
Yeah.
At her feet, it says Art Adams and then Simonson and then the date.
But you can see his style and the architect in those buildings. You can see that's straight Simonson. Yeah. But pinch and blow it up, man. Yeah, I'd like that on a poster. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Candace, I'm with you. I did not notice it until everybody here started to call that out. That was the one thing I didn't look at, and it is pretty incredible. 14 heads. I'm with you guys all the way. Love this cover through and through. This is a cover I've recognized even years prior to getting even close to this season of Omni X-Men, and I'm pretty sure I have at least a copy, maybe multiples at this point, and I definitely would like to get an even nicer one at some point, because it's just that iconic to me. And hey, look, it's our girl Storm. She's in a unique situation, one that she's never been in before, and I think this does the perfect job in pulling in somebody, someone walking by the shelves and seeing it for the first time. I do agree, John. Yes, maybe zoomed in a little bit more would have been nice. But
to Bobby's point, I hadn't even considered that if it's an homage, then that's intentional, right? The sizing is intentional. I just am greedy, clearly.
Yeah. Settle down over there, John. Candace said it reminds me of a panel rather than a cover. Yeah, for sure. So okay, cool. Well, let's keep it going then here. We kick it off with There's No Place Like Home. Now, technically, as John mentioned earlier, this is all based on the New Mutants special edition issue number 1 that we just broke down prior to this week. And that was a 64-page story. A lot happening and all that. You get Enchantress, who at the end of that now, at this point, at least, the team is kind of taken over, at least the New Mutants, I should say, a lot of that being focused around. And we'll see exactly how the X-Men kind of get tied into this story now moving forward. But you are greeted by this really beautiful kind of not splash page, but just layout and introductory of all the characters. I really think this is a neat way to show, I know a lot of comics kind of show little heads or who's involved in this issue time and time again, but this is a really cool way to kind of show everybody, and it's a stacked house tonight. So, we're getting everybody. So Bobby, kudos to you, man. I mean, it's a smart move that you went after this issue, man, amongst other reasons. This is just in line for epicness already. But right away we get a dream sequence, or I should say a sequence in which a scream happens in the middle of a summer night, and all the X-Men jump to it. It turns out that Kitty Pryde is having a nightmare. She's screaming. They're not sure why. They don't understand. She's in danger of some sort. You got Wolverine with his claws out. You got the Snicket going. You even had Nightcrawler carry Rachel from the other room to bamf her into this room, since she's the only one currently with like psychic power. So he gets her there super quick. And you can see her kind of lay her hands on Kitty's head to kind of read her mind and see where she's at. And immediately you get this instant walkthrough or layout of really a gorgeous panel there on the far right hand side. But basically a way for them to quickly recap what is happening, show the team, hey, this is the X-Men now realizing what's going on, because they were not part of anything from the last issue. So this is kind of a good, nice, quick way to go about it. But before we go further, let's hear some thoughts. John, I'll throw it to you. What do you think between the artwork, the introduction, and the urgency of the team right off the bat?
I mean, I've seen this drawing that Art does here at the top of the team lots of times, reused in a lot of different Marvel Universe kinds of things where they want to highlight the 80s look of the team. It's such a great drawing, man. The Mohawk is even like a foot longer than normal. Like everything is just amplified. It's really cool. Plus you get the height comparisons really nicely laid out there. Yeah. For both teams too. Obviously, the New Mutants in their uniforms, all really cool, and then Warlock with his head kind of sideways in the background there. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then it's a good way to get us back into the story. If you had not read, like I mentioned, I had never read the preceding half of this story. So to dive into this, I needed this information. This was important backstory to understand kind of what's going on. And then, like you said, man, he draws the daylights out of Loki's crazy costume and all the scantily clad women around him. It's like, he draws the daylights out of that page I guess it's like kind of one panel. I also loaded the Journey into Mystery page or cover that Bobby was
there.
Mentioning.
It is. Oh yeah.
You can see like there's a building he's standing on and a building in the same spot on the side and the title and everything. So it's like, it's definitely an homage to the first appearance of Thor, which I didn't know. So that I don't know how I didn't think that through. Yeah. So Bobby, thank you for that.
I just recently seen that myself. Yeah. That, somebody pointed it out to me, so I'm passing it on. But yeah, man, because like this book is, I don't know how many years old now.
85. So 40. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I'm old. I feel old, but this
young at heart.
I'm still finding new things in the artwork, and he draws a tight, fine line that I appreciate. I like. There's a lot of artists that I like, and when he came along, I liked it right away. And like I said, 40 years later, I'm still finding things out about this book. So yeah, it's wild. Yeah, man. There's a lot of those. Like I think Garfield's on Kitty's 90. Yeah, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Yeah, good call. Good call.
It's a lot of little things, man. But yeah, I love it. Like I said, like you said, the size comparison. You see Wolverine's about the same size as Kitty Pryde. They're standing there. Yeah, and. Warlock, he got kind of a Gumby, buckwheat, kind of buckwheat Gumby vibe going. Yeah, Eddie Murphy, I can see, that from that time. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, man, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, like I said, right away I was sucked in, and that dragon. Look at the details on that dragon. Yep. And that top picture of the X-Men, I think that's on the side of the book or on the back of your omnibus. Yeah, it's like I said, it's. Yeah.
It is on. Yeah, it's on the interior or on the inside of the dust jacket for my omnibus.
Oh, I'll have to check mine. I gotta find it.
Yeah, man.
But that's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
See, now I feel like I have to have that version too, John. Just because, damn it.
Hey, I had to get rid. JP has my, volume 5, and I kept this one.
Yeah, it's a beauty. It definitely is a beauty. Quick thing in the chat here, my man Mark. I hope you're doing well, man. Happy New Year. Tuning in, he has a couple cool comments. He says, when I was a kid, I purchased annuals because it was the only time I could see Art Adams' work. His work was beautiful. Then he goes on to say, Art Adams was a notoriously slow artist. I didn't know this as a kid. I was just obsessed with his art. He did a Web of Spider-Man annual #2 that was just beautiful. That I will have to check out as well. He says, I'm not sure that the great John Byrne could touch Art Adams' art. Isn't what I considered art's peak. Man, that's yeah.
Wow.
Hey, dude, I am definitely loving art, and I've loved his art for a while now. But those are some cool pieces of info, Mark. Appreciate you dropping that.
He's still doing, in my opinion, really quality stuff today, because I've been buying a lot of his covers the last say 6-7 years when he does a fun Storm variant or something. He's been doing a bunch of them, and they're really good.
Yeah. You know what? I have to find it now. I bought a. Oh man, I should have had this ready. I'm pretty sure I have the. He signed basically a print version of the panels that are right here. It's one of, I think it's
No
just
way.
I think it's just the top team. I don't think the New Mutants are in it, or it might have been a different.
So
angle
that same that same drawing right there.
I don't remember if it's exact that or it's just another lineup of the team, but it reminds me of that. If anything, but I'm gonna have to find it after this. I know I have it somewhere, but because I met him at Turficon 2 years ago, and I had him sign that. And that's the other cool thing about Art is he is still going like strong. Like he's at all the shows. You could find he'll be at Turficon. I know New York. New York Con he's usually at. So he's definitely around and someone good to meet and get autographs from. And hey, I might have to.
I got 3 right here.
3
of Art Adams variants.
The Storm.
Oh yeah.
Storm 1. Another Storm 1.
Yeah.
And then for tonight,
X-Men
Red issue 3.
So good.
Yeah.
I never seen that.
Ratios or whatever, but gorgeous.
See, those are worth it. Those are worth it. The ratios. I'll pay extra for that.
Yeah, man.
By the way, she has another. Well, this is not Art Adams, but this Wednesday there's another cool Storm cover. I'll have to post that later. But get your money ready. At least it's a regular. It's like a cover B, so don't.
Okay, all right, that's
only shell out $5. All right, let's keep this going. So the team gets caught up with kind of what's going on. This page on the left, you could kind of see a bit more detail of what they're viewing and still questioning exactly what's going on, because they knew they were on vacations. The New Mutants were on vacations. That Aurora wasn't there either. But this, it seems unbelievable, but at the same time they're very concerned, so they're going to explore it. I had to highlight the middle page here. Because they're like, we got to get to Asgard. How are we going to get to Asgard? and immediately they reference back. And this is why I mentioned we started the first giant size annual that we broke down was issue number 3 or annual 3. And that just happened to be the one that Cyclops is referring to for Archon, the Empyrean with those bolts, those lightning bolts. So I love that they kind of referenced that back. I was
and if you remember, I think Chet was on with us that episode, and he was like, oh yeah, these bolts are very important later on.
Yeah.
Here we are 5 years later of doing this show, whatever, and they come back around. So those little lightning bolts, they're from another annual.
Yes. And I love how he just pulls them out in this little pouch, and it's like, hey, we get the right combination and we're good. And Rogue's like, what if we get the wrong combination, pal? Then where we're gonna leave us then? And then of course they're like, okay, we got the team together, everybody's here. Is everybody here? And then they turn, they're like, wait, we got one more. And it's Rachel showing up in the doorway, and everybody's jaw just drops. She is standing in the near the stairway, and she's dressed up as Phoenix in the symbol and costume that the beloved Jean Grey, was representing. And so a lot of mixed feelings from everybody. Some really liked it, others felt uncomfortable with it. Cyclops clearly bothered by this, and even kind of explains that and says, I'm sorry. And she says, sorry it upsets you, but it's also none of your concern. You're married, remember? You may be leading this mission, but you're retired from the X-Men. And what's his wife's name again?
Madeline.
Madeline goes, she's right, Scott, isn't she? And he's like, sure. And he just puts on his mask. Like, all right, whatever, let's get out of here then. But it clearly bothered him at that point. We will touch a little bit more on the background of that here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, Kitty Pryde does ask if Madeline can keep an eye on Lockheed. I think that she should have brought Lockheed. I mean, it can never hurt to have a dragon that spits fire, as a backup, but hey, someone's got to hang back. So Lockheed will be with Madeline. So they all go off and just leave her in black with the dust going, or the smoke, I should say. Bobby, I'll throw it to you first. Any thoughts here as the team has now gathered and are now kind of taking action, and they get to see Rachel dressed up in this Phoenix vibe?
Well, they take a lot of stock in Kitty's dream, right away. Let's go to Asgard. What if you're just having a wacky dream, or you ate a pepperoni sandwich or whatever that night? Yeah, you don't know. But those bolts that they used to travel with, that annual, that's one of my favorites too. That's a George Perez did the art on that one, and he didn't do a whole lot of X-Men stuff. So that's one of the few and a great one. So that, struck a chord with me. And then when she came out with Phoenix's costume, that's like another first where she's going to be the young Phoenix, or she becomes the Phoenix. Yeah, yeah. So that's another one. Yeah.
Yep.
And Cyclops, it just blows his mind. And I got her. And Madeline, at the time, she's pregnant with young Cable, baby Cable. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Spoiler, jeez. Gosh damn it, Bobby.
It was only 40 years ago, but yeah.
Wait a second, what happened?
So good.
John, what about you? What are your thoughts here? Do you think it's a good move for the direction that Rachel's going in, or do you feel for Scott?
I mean, I think nobody is supporting Rachel, right? Nobody is really like assisting her in managing the trauma she's carrying, the situations she's stuck in, the emotions, the baggage, all the stuff. So she's doing her best to navigate it for herself, and kudos to her. I think she's coming up with good solutions that aren't really harming anybody, but are allowing her to express what she's feeling. I love Wolverine. He cared about Jean, and even Wolverine's like, hey man, like we got a job to do. This thing's coming off the rails already here. Scott, get your shit together. Like there's a little thought bubble with Wolverine where he's like, this thing's already falling apart. And then of course, sad sack Madeline Pryor, always kind of like, yeah, we're gonna be happy together, aren't we? It's just like, good luck. You're better off with the dragon, lady, honestly.
Yep. There's Ryan's complaint, not my Phoenix. Maybe that's the thing that's kind of really
I definitely
tilted Ryan more than anything.
Yeah.
He can't get past
he's a Jean Grey stan. So get this Madeline Pryor out of here.
Yeah.
I get it. Rachel and Madeline can hitch a ride.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Well, let's keep it going. So then we flash over to a lot of pink in the backgrounds, which I think is something to catch your attention right away. But it's we find out it's a dream sequence essentially. But it shows Karma sitting by the tree. Karma's in a human form, as opposed to the elf form or fairy form that she was in prior to this. And so that already was, kind of had me heads up about this. Like, is this real? What's going on here? And you kind of see this team reacting in a way or saying things in a way that didn't seem or just seemed very straightforward. And it turns out that it is a dream. And it also turns out that, well, as you can see, Sam is waking up Karma, who has those elfish features again, like we saw in the last issue. And it turned out she was hearing all that stuff or kind of envisioning all that stuff. And it turns out it's kind of part of the abilities that she has now that she's an elf or within the elf world, I guess you should say. It's
Magma though. Magma, not Karma. It's Magma.
I'm sorry. Magma. All right. Thank you.
You're good.
So between the two of them, because really, at least as of right now, they're waking up and they're back on the Forge, which is what we again saw from last issue, where they are forging together these weapons, very similar to the ones we've seen in the movies. Peter Dinklage, that scene, and I love that because I think back to that in a lot of ways.
You should,
these
totally.
scenes here.
Yeah.
So essentially, this guy is this one dwarf is finishing up this weapon that was asked by Loki. This was again a lot of this is Loki. If for those that didn't read the first one, it's all a plan going in by Loki. But the plan was they are creating this hammer that now Magma has to keep kind of solidified in this liquid hot magma to take with her to bring to Loki. And in the meantime, they're trying to figure out a way to rescue Storm throughout all this because they know that it's not really a good thing, but they're using this as their way of doing it. The dwarf does they've kind of built a relationship over this time. The dwarf does gift Sam a few things to protect himself. He has this shield of armor that he gives him along with this really cool sword, basically to just get him ready for whatever is ahead of him. And there's a lot ahead of him. So John, anything here you want to throw in on kind of this, I guess what's going on right now more with Magma than anything else?
Yeah, I mean, like a few different things. Obviously, I'm glad you brought up Peter Dinklage because that is the character he plays in Avengers Infinity War, is this king of the dwarves here at the Forge. And so it's kind of cool to be able to see it like here in the comics. If you haven't read a lot of Thor comics, then maybe you haven't seen a lot of the dwarf realm, and this kind of stuff might be kind of novel for you. So yeah, it's kind of fun. The dream stuff definitely threw me off. I'm like, wait, are they skipping around in time? What's going on here? I'm glad that they didn't take too long on it. But yeah, it's definitely highlighting the fact that a lot of the New Mutants, as they've been stuck here dealing with the blessings and curses that Loki has put on them, are having changes to their character, right? Who they are is being melded with whatever Loki is trying to force upon them. So they are having some changes to who they are, and that's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby, what about you? Any thoughts here on seeing the world of the Forge and knowing what's being built right now, or kind of the job that they have to do?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome, and I think the dream sequence was kind of Claremont's way of catching the reader up in case you didn't read the last issue. And it's just I like the way Sam is kind of like grown. He just looks a little older. He kind of grew into his ears. His hair's a little longer. But the armor that he gives him is like Dungeons and Dragons or something. It's like a special. It's got a little magic to it. He's like, it's not enough to help you with Loki, but it's better than nothing. And he gives it to him. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, it's kind of takes on a Dungeons and Dragons type. When you're in Asgard and you got swords and sorcery stuff going on, type feel. Yeah.
100%. Absolutely. Yeah. Love to see it. All right, let's keep it going here, because we jump back over to the X-Men, who are now coming into Asgard. They land into Asgard, or at least what they call the Golden Realm, I should say, because technically Asgard is being rebuilt in this time specifically. So they get there, and right away they're greeted by this wolf who's being attacked by trolls. Turns out that we know this wolf. This is a wolf that was from last issue that was kind of interested in Rain. Little connection there between the two. So they save this wolf from the and really he's a changeling or shape changer, as they refer to him, but they save them from the troll, but then they immediately get visited by Hela, who comes kind of storming in her own way. Had some really gorgeous panels here. I wasn't able to blow everything up, but definitely some gorgeous panels. And basically says, man, I was looking forward to, claiming this changeling, but you've got him. So I guess I'll deal with these trolls instead. But she basically warns them that there's something within she recognizes Rachel more specifically than any of the others, saying that there's something about her that stands out compared to the rest. And then she goes off, I guess, with the dead trolls that she's claiming, because she is the dead god of death, essentially. Meanwhile, in this middle panel here, you can see there's what looks to be a bird flying, kind of soaring around and seeing what was left after, because again, this is where it hints to us that the city of Asgard is being rebuilt. But the bird is actually our good friend Warlock, who's just taken form, and he's communicating back to the team as to what he sees. He's seeing what they can find to look for Aurora. In the meantime, you have Doug, who's sitting there basically doing his thing, deciphering these old books that Enchantress had, so that they could potentially use her spells, these magic books that she's had there. Now that they've kind of defeated her and left her back in limbo, that was where Enchantress was kind of last left off. He's going through this, but he's also he kind of wishes he was with Warlock right now. He's been, we already know that he's kind of been let down with his power in comparison to everybody else's. He wants something more physical. He doesn't have that per se, and he's just trying to deal with that. And it's not helping that Ileana is kind of catching an attitude with him. And as he says he wishes he was out there with him, Ileana's like, hey, well, yeah, you can go play hero later. We need you here to do your stuff with your abilities. Don't worry about that. You can play hero later. And even Danny's like, hey, easy on him. That was a little rough. And even for me, you guys know, Ileana, she's my girl. I love her. And I was like, hold on a second. Why is she being like this right now? This is really caught me off guard. Because I'm like, am I misreading this? Did Chris Claremont mess up? Is he just making this character be a jerk like this? Because this is not right.
Well, I even read Danny's retort as mean. Hey, it's not his fault that his power is mental.
Oh yeah,
not physical like ours. I said, like,
it's
Danny,
like a backhanded.
a little bit of an edge.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He sucks. Okay.
So true.
That's me.
And then in the meantime, you get a little glimpse of Loki. I actually thought the scene was just so funny that they just flashed to him with this little bow and arrow, and he's just like, oh, what is that? A bird? Oh, I know all these birds. I don't recognize that one. Might as well shoot it down anyways, just in case. And he does so, and in doing so, it puts the team on alarm. Like, oh my God, Warlock is down. We got to go find him. And they're scrambling. And now at this point, Doug is like, Ilyan, I don't care what you say. I'm going to help my friend because he saved my life and I owe it to him. And that's, the least I could do. And Ilyan's like, good, whatever. Good riddance. All of you just go. Let me do my thing. And Shan is kind of just left there in the corner at the bottom right-hand side. But she's even recognizing, like, man, there's some stuff going on. She's like, Ilyana is, she's been practicing these spells from Enchantress. And she's like, I think she's starting to become her. So that is where I was like, okay, that clarified for me a little bit that Chris Claremont wasn't just going off at the deep end with the character that I love. So a lot has happened just with these pages. John, I'll throw it to you first. Anything you want to talk about here?
I mean, I want to mention too that the Falcon is Storm in the middle, the one with the mohawk. The Falcon in the center is Storm, because in the previous storyline, apparently Loki's messing about with everything. He wants to turn the beautiful woman into a bird because that's his jam. Whatever. I absolutely love. Can I just have give me a one shot about Hela drawn by Art Adams, and that's all I'm asking at this point. Every single drawing of Hela in this book is hella good, as it is incredible. I love the first one when it's tilted sideways and her helmet is like weaving its way into the other panel.
It lays over the top of the page.
She is killer in this and absolutely phenomenal. Like, this is how I picture Hela always. Like, this is so good. So that was my main takeaway. And yeah, it was hilarious that Loki just happens to spot the bird and he's like, I got this bow and arrow here. Let me shoot that down. It's very keeping with his character, but also completely ridiculous at the same time.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed. Bobby, what are your thoughts here on some of these panels?
Yeah, just compounding on what you just said. Yeah, both of you, man, that, Hela looking hella fine and stuff. Yeah, that artwork, like I said, man, is just, yeah, I love it. And Loki, the what he's wearing, he's wearing like a different helmet, and from back in the day, yeah, it's got a wild fashion choice, and I dig it. And Ilyana, yeah, like you said, yeah, that was a good where she's kind of becoming the Enchantress. Yeah, she's really putting Doug down. Yeah.
Which is mean.
Yeah, you get to see Doug and Warlock really starting to bond.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, love it.
Ryan says that he has H.A. Scott Campbell Hela cover signed. That's cool.
Ooh,
he's another very talented artist. All right, let's keep this going. We're moving and grooving here. So yeah, then we get a flash over to Loki in his palace after he had just essentially taken out Warlock, and he goes to greet Storm. And again, this kind of fills you in a little bit and also shows you where Storm's head is at, which clearly is she's been drugged up or something. We know that Loki has his spells going on with her to kind of control her mentally, but she is not herself, and he's basically checking in on her to make sure, hey, you're on my team, right? She's like, yeah, of course. And he's like, we're cool, right? Like, yeah, we're cool. And like, do you want to live here or do you want to go home? She's like, nah, this is great. I don't need Earth anymore. This is my place now. And he's like, yes. And he gets this little evil monologue at the bottom corner. I just picture him, and he kind of shares, his plan. He goes, my plan proceeds apace. I mix a touch of magic, the slightest of spells, with Storm's own yearning to bend her completely and of her own free choice to my purpose. He wants to use her to, since his half brother is away in Midgard, since there is no god of thunder, he wants to replace him with Storm as the goddess of thunder, and then be able to be with her basically as a power couple and then rule over Asgard. That is Loki's big evil plan, which we know he attempts again and again and again. So far hasn't worked out, but it's a pretty dangerous plan as of right now because he's got Storm convinced. Meanwhile, we'll go back to the forest here because the X-Men who have rescued this changeling has they're kind of getting a backstory because he's hurt. He's been bleeding from the attack from the trolls, so they're trying to read his mind. Rachel's trying to read his mind, get an understanding where he came from, what's going on. And as she does, she realizes that his memories has rain in it. And she's like, oh, wait a second. Oh, and not just memories, but like a relationship kind of vibe going on between the two. And Cyclops is like, hey, talk about a star-crossed romance. So between all this happening and the rest of them trying to figure out what they want to do, I appreciate that they take this moment here in this middle panel at the bottom, the zoomed in face of Kitty, who's really just in her own thoughts thinking, this is actually kind of messed up because the whole scene or the idea with Rachel and what she's going through and how she has not told Cyclops yet, even though they just kind of had Hela kind of call that out in front of everybody because she's like highlighting her and recognizing the power that she's come from her mom just a couple pages ago, the connection there. And I don't know, if Cyclops has put all that together yet or if he's just in denial. I think he's in denial at this point, but Kitty does make some good points that clearly Rachel still wants it to just kind of be that way. So I just want to point that panel out there too, because there's a lot going on just kind of behind the scenes with the team and Rachel. So meanwhile, on this far page, you have Rogue, who's dropping off a bunch of new gear. Of course, it would not be X-Men if there weren't, a change in wardrobe here and there, especially when they're off in Asgard. So the whole team gets new outfits from what Rogue has found. Wolverine's like, nobody better say anything about what I'm wearing right now. And then so they decide to split up and go from here to move forward, trying to find out where Aurora is. But Bobby, I'll pass it over to you. What thoughts do you have for these pages?
I'm loving it, man. Yeah, the wardrobe change is definitely the Wolverine with that costume. Yeah, just crazy. But there's a trope to me that Art Adams when you see that panel with Storm smiling, it's like an Art Adams mouth. It's like a triangle. You see it a few times in this issue, and a few times, a lot of his characters have that smile. So yeah, that's art. If I'm in a question, if I see that mouth, I know this is an Art Adams artwork. Yeah. But I love it, and it's just hilarious to close the design. And like I said, man, Wolverine, you see he's hairy all over. Yeah,
the thighs. John, what about you? Any thoughts here with the wardrobe exchange or Storm just completely being head over heels for Loki?
I mean, I think you sympathize with the fact that she's going through this identity crisis, and Loki he says it a few times. I am not lying to you, and I am not like using some kind of spell on you. I'm giving you things that you want and giving you an opportunity to make a choice for yourself. He is just assuming that everybody is as selfish as he, and hence the challenge he's facing with Storm. But he's not lying to her, right? He is telling her, like, look, you've got nothing back on Earth. Nothing. You got no powers, nothing. I can make you a goddess here. I can give you the most powerful weapon in the universe. I can make you everything you wish you had. You want to fly again? I can make this happen for you, right? And she is just clutching at hope here. And that's kind of what she's going through in a big way.
Yeah. Well said. Well, let's keep it going. Next up, we got my man Bobby, not Bobby Delgado, but my other guy Bobby, who's hanging out with the ladies. Now, if we recall from the last episode, he's been loving Asgard. Ever since he's come here, out of all the storylines, I think he's living the dream the most, and mainly because it's played into his viewpoint and how people are kind of worshiping him in a sense. All the girls love him. Last time somebody offered him a job there, like he was impressing even the guys because he was able to pick up Volstagg, and he's making friends at the bar and all these other things. So he's essentially living life. Meanwhile, you have Danny Moonstar coming to visit along with Doug, who walks in. All the girls get terrified. They say, "Save us! Somebody save us!" This drunk guy comes along, looks a little bit like John Byrne, redhead John Byrne, and basically tries to hit on Danny. Danny says, "Give me a break, pal, will you?" And he falls back to all the guys. I want to ask you guys about what you kind of first saw with this, because I was a little confused with why they were acting the way they did. I know they explain a little bit further on, but we could talk it out. I also want to highlight the one panel of that red bearded guy. I love how Danny's drawn in that one. It's a small panel. It's not like a big thing or anything, but just again going back to Art Adams' style, and even when needing to draw in small space, just really, really gorgeous stuff. Meanwhile, this next part really cracked me up. They decide that they go around the corner to try to. They're looking for warlocks, or anywhere they can find warlock. And I'm reading this as a panel, digital first.
Yeah,
so
panel by panel.
Yeah. And I get to see them, saying for better or for worse, we got to find this guy. And Doug's like, there he is. And then it just flashes of him up against the rock with his hair crazy. And he just says, "Friends." I just thought it was so funny. If you guys ever just picture that as you're reading it or read it digitally.
It made me think of the scene. I don't know if you've seen Royal Tenenbaums, very funny movie. But at one point they're like trying to find Owen Wilson's character is an alcoholic, and he's just disappearing, and they're like I don't know where he is, and then one of the guys like, "Oh, there he is," and he's just like walking by like right at the moment that they were looking for him. Oh no, there he is. Yeah. It gave me that vibe of like, oh, that was easier than I thought it was going to be.
I love it. Yeah, and then so right away, as Doug's checking in on Warlock, who just got shot down by Loki. And the minute Warlock takes a glance over at Danny, he completely freaks out and starts screaming and he grabs Doug and basically rescues him, or quote unquote thinks he's rescuing him. Danny doesn't understand what's going on. Even Bobby's like, I don't know what others are seeing right now. There's something that some others are seeing something about her, and they're all scared or terrified or acting that way for some reason. And that's really all we get from that one particular moment. I do love, again, that close up of Danny in that bottom right hand corner. So some more gorgeous artwork, but want to hear your guys' thoughts. Bobby, anything here that you want to explain? And did you know kind of what was going on with this, or why they were looking at her in this certain way?
Yeah, I definitely had a inkling and stuff from what happened from the issue before. Because I'm read up on. I knew a bit about Thor and so, some of his characters, but I wanted to tell you about Birdo. Bobby. He's probably my favorite New Mutant. Being that Latino character, and we had my name is Robert. You know what I mean, but my friends and family all call me Bobby. So. Right away, I like that. We shared the same name. My hair was like that back in there 40 years ago. I had that same hairstyle.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I had that cool disco. I had the mullet, the haircut of the gods. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was some time ago, but yeah, so I love it. And then you see that panel with Danny where she's like shadow. You just see her eyes where, that's what scared the hell out of him. And I don't know how Warlock knew the history of what he was seeing, but he definitely panicked and he got out of there.
Yeah.
I think it was something in the last issue where I think Loki or somebody said that there were a few of the New Mutants who were immune to the glamours that he was casting, and Warlock is definitely one of them. He is not, so he sees right through anybody who is being sort of like overcome by the abilities of Loki and the curses that he puts on them. So he sees Danny and he's right away, he's like, oh, that's not Danny. Like, I don't know what's going on with these people, but I got to get Doug out of here. His impulse is always save Doug.
Yeah.
I've got to save Doug. You know, he's the kind of character that he gets an instruction, and if it means something to him, he's going to keep performing that task on a repeat over and over again.
Right.
But it is sweet knowing kind of the journey that they continue to go on together. It's kind of sweet to see these early moments.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely seeing this relationship be built more and more, especially through last issue and even more ahead in this issue.
Totally.
And I love it. I'm here for it. I love the comments. Ryan, Self is out of here. Adam says, "Scream!" Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's a great point, Adam, that he actually shouts the word "scream." He's not really leaving. He's just kidding. But yeah, so no, that's great stuff. Anything else there, John? Before I jump on?
No, I mean, I think you definitely hit all the main stuff. I mean, yes, I think we've highlighted the beauty of the detail work that he does, but then sometimes it's the simplicity, like you said, on the faces, especially something like Danny, where she almost doesn't even have a nose.
No,
in that far drawing, it's just like a little bit of a curtain, under part of her nose, but the intensity of her face is really empowering. It's like, wow, oh geez.
Absolutely. Even like the girls around Bobby, even Bobby is gorgeous.
Yeah,
like they're all, they're all gorgeous. So it really is, really well done style. All right, so let's keep this going. Then we do move over to they call it Elsewhere. It's technically where Enchantress. It looks like this dark evil castle. They even got the full moon in the background to really emphasize everything. And on top of that, they are with what looks to be like a werewolf essentially. So really going into that that vibe of horror right there. They just talk about how Enchantress is one of the greatest sorcerers in the realm, save for the Norn queen Carnilla, whose dread power rivals Loki's. It's a little note there that Carnilla is mentioned, and then says, this is where we got to go to meet up with. Again, he's looking for his love, which happens to be Rain. So they all get together, and immediately the two can't help it. Rain, she's freaked out because she couldn't even help how excited and the feelings she's had for him. So you can see there's a lot of hearts. They're kind of running around each other. She immediately turned into her Wolfbane self, and then she's questioning when her hiding behind her hands like this. Just questioning, being scared, really, just saying like, why did I just act like that? I acted like an animal, but I'm not. I'm a girl. I'm a human being. Aren't I? And she's like, now she's like confused. She's really confused.
I like that she asks the question.
Yes, at the end. Yeah.
Am
I? And then of course, nice little one panel right next to that where they kind of fill in. Okay, the team talks and tells stories to fill details. We don't have to go through all that again. And then we go into the next page where, again, this is where at this point, Ileana was kind of left by herself, because she didn't want to deal with Doug and everybody else that kind of ran away. And again, as we now know, she's turning more and more into Enchantress. It's a little scary, but all of them are like, what's going on here? She clearly looks like her at this point. She's got the devilish horns and the outfit she's wearing. And Peter's like, that's my little sister. Like, something's wrong. Something's up. There's a vibe about her.
That face says this is going to cost me a lot of therapy bills.
Yes. That
outfit is going to cost me a lot of therapy bills.
And then right when they're about to kind of confront her, boom, out of nowhere comes Loki, and she takes control at this point. So now basically Loki, who's now controlling Ileana, and Ileana now kind of possesses or holds each of them. We'll see another panel here in just a little bit, but Loki basically, because he went to go visit, and he's like, Enchantress was supposed to have all these people held down. He's like, I got to send somebody to do this work. I just got to do it myself. And so he's now kind of shown up there at this point, but some really cool artwork. Meanwhile, we do get a little glimpse here. Again, talked a little bit about seeing Doug and Warlock building more of a relationship. Doug is like, look, man, you are not in good shape. I tried to find batteries for you. I tried to find something that could like kind of recharge you. I couldn't find anything. What about me? What about, you taking some of my energy, as long as you don't kill me or turn me into whatever, would that help in some way? And Warlock's like, you would do that? That's so kind. Yes. If you don't mind, let's do that. And sure enough, he does. We get this really cool panel of them kind of split down the middle. I thought was really neat. And all you hear is wow, and big pink letters there at the end as they connect with each other as a way to heal Warlock or recharge him, essentially. So we're gonna get more from that here in a little bit too. But any thoughts here, Bobby? I'll start with you. Seeing Rain and her getting all mixed feelings, or anything here with Ileana.
Yeah, that was right away. That was awesome. Like two dogs are running around sniffing each other's butts and stuff. That's what I got right away. And then that panel where she's questioning herself it's just beautiful. She's up against the panel, with her hand by her face like that. It's just it captures a lot just in that little frame right there. Yeah.
Yep.
And then Liliana, like you said, that costume, man, wow, you know what I mean? Yeah, it might cost me some therapy too, because she was looking hella good. Yeah, she's looking good. And I think this is the first time that Doug and Warlock become Douglock or whatever. They merge, and that becomes a thing. So this is like another first. Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah.
John, what about you here? Any thoughts on these pages?
All right, Sheena, if you're watching, 55-minute mark. If anybody's seen Heated Rivalry, because I'm telling you right now.
Oh yeah. I have
not. Gay
not,
hockey show. I'm just saying. There's a little thing with Doug and Warlock here that feels like, hey, you want to, maybe we snuggle up together. Maybe we find a little love here in the night. And then all he says is, wow. And we cut away. I'm just like, okay, maybe I've watched too much Heated Rivalry. I don't know. That was my takeaway, Sheena, for you. Had to throw that in there. I mean, obviously, God dang it, Art Adams draws beautiful women, and he usually has them scantily clad. So take that any way you want, whether you like that or not. He continues to do it. He may have just, and obviously she's being corrupted. We could talk long. Actually, let's do it real quick.
Yeah.
Where did we leave the Enchantress last issue?
Limbo.
We left her in limbo, and now the Queen of Limbo is being corrupted by the Enchantress's power.
Yeah.
I would argue that leaving her there is corrupting the essence of Ileana, and that there's a core element of this, going on here.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know that it justifies the costume she's wearing. There's my rationale for some of that. But obviously he crushes the artwork on these pages. Absolutely great. And then that Loki with like the smoking finger, like, I got all these guys, I'll tie them all up. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
He just shows up and it's all done.
Yeah. The light work he handles. He handles the light work.
Right.
He gets all the ladies to do the heavy stuff for him.
Yeah, of course. Well, he's not here to sweat.
No. Candace says, she hasn't watched the show yet, but her coworkers are trying to get me to watch it.
Sheena's been trying to get me to read that book for about 5 years. Now they got the show I got to watch too. So she's been pushing. She's been pushing all the smut on me.
I was just watching
all the smut.
I was catching up on the Golden Globes rewind, and there are a lot of highlights of that show. And Lady No Good, she's loving it. So I've been hearing
nice.
All right, so let's keep it going. We jump right into we see Wolverine here. See with Kitty, I think. This little section here, basically, as they're sneaking around some of the village because they're going to what's called the Hall of Heroes. It's just the three of them, it looks like. But basically highlights that nobody's around. They really highlight or just remind you basically that Thor and Balder the Brave, they're out. Supposed to be going, I guess, after Hell to free the innocent souls that Hela has imprisoned, is what they describe. So you get Wolverine who says, "Them's the breaks, Red." It's a good issue when you got Wolverine dropping those lines. Meanwhile, you have Sam, who, and again, John, going back to your highlight of the blondes last week and mixing some of that stuff up, that definitely affected me here.
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yes, yeah. Because here I'm like, okay, we have
which blonde is that Long Shot? Is Long Shot in this one? I can't remember.
Yeah. And he's got the mullet. He's kind of got the mullet, Bobby, that you were mentioning a little bit with some scruff, But they have a little moment here in these scenes with the pink background. Magma's really just unsure of a lot of things. She feels like she is connected to two different worlds, and that technically neither world is hers, between the human side, the elf side, I guess, or the sorcery side. And she's just having some mixed feelings on a lot of that stuff. So he's trying to be there for her, get her head focused, and wondering, what are we going to do, to save Aurora, because we got to bring this, to them and do all this. Meanwhile, you do get that cool shot I put at the bottom corner here, the left side, and that's where, again, Ileana's holding the team. Everybody's hands are kind of up. No one can move. She's kind of got full control over everybody. And Loki, to add even more, takes the two changelings and makes them his like kind of devil dogs in a sense.
Yep.
Puts these collars on them that are connected to being able to control them and use their powers as long as the collars stay on them. So that's also not good. They do have Nightcrawler here, who has a pretty savage moment. I'd say close to being, a candidate for MVP later, where he's able to still get out of this whole thing while they're being held up by Ileana. He bamfs. He says, "Hey, just because you got us all held doesn't mean you can't hold us all." So he bamfs out. He basically wraps his tail around Cyclops, and then he kisses Rogue. So there's this connection between the three. And because of that, Rogue is able to, for at least a short few minutes, able to take their powers and somewhat snap out of it, hit Loki with the optic blast, and bamf her way out of being stuck as well, and gets on top and basically starts hitting him, beating him up. And that was a wild moment. And then out of nowhere, you get an interruption by a voice, and that voice happens to be Storm. And everybody turns around. They're like, Storm, wait, Storm. And they can't get the vibe. Storm's clearly on Loki's side at this point. She's a little confused. You could see she has moments of like, wait, are they my friends? And she looks at Loki like, Loki, are these people bad? And Loki's like, no, they're trying to overthrow me. These are not our friends. And because of that distraction, he's able to kind of get out of what Rogue had while she was on him before. And he's ends up summoning what looks to be this crazy green dragon. Again, this is why they should have brought Lockheed with them, because they would have had dragon versus dragon. So they get this guy who's riding this green dragon. They free the wolf monster, the changelings that are now these big wolves, to start this battle. And a big thing happens here that I wanted to highlight is Wolverine, as he's kind of the only one really ready to fight at this point. He's taken down who he can. Sam's got the sword and armor, but Wolverine gets a bit in the leg, and it turns out it's this poisonous bite that this dragon has, and that's going to play in effect to the rest of this issue down the road here, because Wolverine, he even says it here. He goes, I don't know. He's like, my body's burning up, blood becoming boiling acid. He's like, I don't know if my mutant healing factor is going to help this in any way. He hasn't felt anything like that. To just show the level of seriousness it is, they kind of take a minute to highlight that. Meanwhile, you do get the USS Enterprise flying in out of nowhere, and I wish I had room to put some fun gifts here, but man, I had to keep that in the corner there. Yeah, man. And of course it's Warlock coming in that way, and I just love, we talked about the nod to a lot of the different, we had Popeye and Gumby and a bunch of others in the last issue. Well, we got a little bit of Star Trek here, which was really neat, really cool. So curious what your guys' thoughts, but that's essentially where this set of panels, these pages that we're looking at, kind of ends, is the interruption of Warlock and Doug really coming through. So John, I'll throw it to you first. A lot going on, so feel free to talk about whatever direction you want.
I mean, there's so much here, right? There's so much here. Art wise, that panel with all of them tied up looks so cool. Lots of great artwork there. I love how quickly they're able to get out of this. Like, this is a well-trained team. They are not rookies. These are not the New Mutants, right? Nightcrawler's like, I'm going to bust out, but I'm not going to go right into action. I'm going to start freeing the most valuable player on the team here, which is Rogue, she can go toe-to-toe with Loki. So she frees him. He starts blasting people, punching her. She's just punching down, man. She really lays into him.
Yeah,
I love all of this. I would have loved this is like that moment in Avengers when Hulk is like throwing Loki around. Like, there she goes. She's got him. So I'm there for all of it. And then, of course, that pivotal moment, the snake bites Logan, and now Logan is dealing with it. That's going to be pivotal going forward. And heck yeah, Star Trek. We've talked since the jump on the show that Star Trek was clearly a big hit with Claremont, and he references it a bunch, and he does little things a bunch. Star Wars too, but I think I get the feeling that if you asked Claremont, he would say he's more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars fan, and it's just evident. And this is the first official, legit, like, wow, look at that. That is not a mistake. That is freaking Enterprise. and it comes in like on several panels there. So if they divide that panel into 3. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawings of the Enterprise as it kind of flies its way in there. It is cool, dude. That is a great page. Holy
yes. I could not agree more. And I'm adding that to my list of questions for Claremont. Star Trek or Star Wars? That's what I'm going to ask him this summer.
If he's not a Trekkie, I don't know. I'm my mind is broken. Or maybe he's switched since 1985.
I was gonna say, over the years, maybe. Star Wars is really kicking butt with a lot of the stuff they're putting out right now. Bobby, what are your thoughts here? I know there's a lot of pages going on, a lot of storyline here. So whatever direction you want to go in, my friend.
Yeah, just the whole thing, man, is awesome. Like, I'm looking back at it. There's just a lot of panels there. Yeah, there's a lot going on. But the Nightcrawler escape, and if you see, he's got his tail around Cyclops. You got Loki in the middle. They split the panel, and then he's kissing Rogue, and Rogue just comes out whooping at it with both the. I've seen that a couple of times where she can combine powers, and she's blasting them, and her beams are yellow, which would make me question why wouldn't they be red, but Nightcrawler's eyes are yellow, so maybe that's why she's shooting yellow beams. That's what I thought, And there's a lot. That's the panel where those Wolverine and that dragon and all them guys bust out, and I'm like, man, this is just the detail of the art. And then Wolverine takes that bite, like you said, and you rarely you've seen Wolverine get tore up, but this was something, that it really messed him up. You see later on that it really messed him up, and then, like you said, the Enterprise coming in and the way he divided the panels and swooping in, and here I come to save the day. I don't know if he's singing that or Doug's singing that or Warlock, but somebody's singing that.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So that's a lot going on. But yeah, like I said, man, I can go over this for hours. I'm still finding things, like you said, there's little things, the little tiny details in these pages. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like after this, I'm gonna have to do like a full read through of last issue and this issue just in one sitting to really get everything back together, because there are definitely some big parts that play from last issue, and it's just a lot in general. So well said. A lot of excitement in these pages. Well, we got more coming, because now that the rest of the team is here, or Warlock at least, and Doug playing a big part, they come through. The trolls that were just, there, and the collars, all that stuff, that all goes away. The trolls basically retreat. But they did, I think at this point, they had noted that they captured Amara along with the hammer, or at least the thing that was holding the hammer, which was Amara's job. So, that part of it, because I missed that the first read through, but the second read through, noticed that little bit, because that's going to play into the Hall of Heroes here in just a little bit. But so at least for the time being, the bad guys go away. The team, the New Mutants at least, and Logan regroup a little bit. Kitty breaks down and explains to the rest of the team, like, hey, we're the only ones up right now. Apparently the rest of the team is being held up. We're not sure what the whole Enchantress thing and Ileana, but we have to go to this, whatever this Hall of Heroes event that Loki is throwing, and what's happening under the Asgard rule, and try to break that up, or see, if Storm's there or what the deal is. Meanwhile, we do get a nice moment. I really like this down at the bottom of this left-hand page, where Kitty Pryde, I'll tell you, it's so awesome to see more and more how much she's grown into the leader role that she has been, and the just level set, like, down to earth and real grip on real world stuff that Kitty has had, even though this is the same girl we talk about of all the crazy outfit changes and all the all the her stomping her feet and Professor X is a jerk and all that other stuff. She's really grown just in these last few years, and so seeing that, her recognizing that Rain is going through a lot of mixed emotions right now. Obviously, the stuff with her kind of boyfriend, but then on top of that, just being terrified of everything that's happening right now. And she explains that the responsibility too of what her powers represent. Kitty just has some really nice like monologuing here that talks a little bit more about the giving her courage and knowing that like this is we have these powers for a reason, and this is something we have to do. We don't have a choice. We have to be able to stand. We have to be able to represent for those who can't. She says we can't fail. We can't fail them. We won't fail them. So I liked a little bit of a hurrah moment there for Kitty, and it was really nice to do the black background. I think it's a great way to quiet the scene down after we just came off of this really loud action set of scenes. So cool creative way that art did that as well. And then these middle pages, we get into the Hall of Heroes, and in short, it is a gathering amongst everyone in Asgard, or what's left of Asgard, and it's a way for Loki to kind of say, hey, my brother's not around. We need a god of thunder here, so why not? Let's just do someone I have in mind, right? And he doesn't quite get to it yet here, but the introduction of that does start, and you can see everybody else is kind of in camouflage here or dressed up in a way, and I love that Warlock is looking the way he is. I forget the character that's based off of. That's a nod to, and maybe you guys know, but Doug's Warlock. This is not a great disguise. He clearly looks like this cartoon compared to everybody else. And then meanwhile, you get a little glimpse of what's going on with Shan. Like, she's been one of the people that are being held up right now with Illyana, who is being controlled by Loki, and she uses every ounce of her ability that she has left to try to break the hold on Illyana and the possession that is going on with her and Loki. She said, "This is now or never. I have to do this, or it'll be too late." So a lot of intense moment there as well. Meanwhile, another. I feel like I keep saying meanwhile. Meanwhile, you get this another intense scene. I didn't put the whole thing here, but you can see sections of it down at the bottom in the middle. But there's a bit of a back and forth here at the Hall of Heroes, whispering some back and forth between Bobby, who looks to be trying to, well, I guess that's Rachel he's talking to there, but Logan who pulls him aside and basically gives him a talking to. And it's a real talking to. It's like, listen, kid, you're, I get it. You think you're this slick, smart kid, good looking kid, and you got the world in front of you. But there's some real heavy stakes going on here, and life is not just games here. I know you might like it here, but we're here to save Aurora, who is not here on her own free will, and we need to rescue her, and that's the priority. And he basically just gives him a real strong talking to that does play a role in the rest of this issue, because Bobby does come around. But at first, Bobby, between last issue and this one, Bobby's been so blinded by his just like glory of everything he's been doing at Asgard. So I think this moment was needed. I think it was important, and it was also a great leadership moment for Logan, where at the end of the day he's like, let's cut the crap. I'm just gonna be straight with you, and that's how he is, and it's great. And the whole time he's sweating because he's dying. I just love that it kept reminding you, like, he in his thought bubbles, like, this might be the end after this. He's like, I'm just going to try to do what I can, get the job done, and then I can let go, is what he says in that top right-hand corner. You do get a little hint to Princess Leia, the random chick in pink that I wanted to highlight, who checks on Logan after the discussion with him and Bobby. But the bun is what gave it away. And then at the far right hand side again, we get Sam, who's kind of bursting through using his abilities. He's got the sword and shield, and just checking in on the rest of the team, who they're good now at this point. I was a little confused about seeing Colossus about to rain down on Kitty, and then Cyclops shot him. I don't know if and I'll pass it to you guys. Is there anything there that I misunderstood, or was Cyclops thinking that was someone else, or was Cyclops still under? I'm sorry, not Cyclops. Colossus, was he still under the
Nightcrawler says? Nightcrawler says, sorry about that close call. Because he's Illyana's brother, Peter proved more susceptible to the spell Loki made her cast.
Oh,
if Shan hadn't possessed her and broken Loki's hold, we'd have ended up just like that.
Okay, yeah. So he was even more wrapped into it. Gotcha.
Correct. Yeah, so he was ready to just basically pummel them.
And that was Kitty, right? He's about
coming out of the dark. He's coming out of the dark there, ready to pound on them. I mean, a lot of like twists and turns here, a lot of divided loyalties and doubt, and I like Wolverine's sweating it out. His immune system is telling him he's dying. His immune system is telling him, I am not going to overcome this thing. He can feel that he is losing. just the same way that he often says stuff like, oh, the healing factor's kicking in. Like I can feel myself healing. This is the inverse of that. And we don't get that a lot in the comics where his body is telling him that it's not working, that it's going the other way. Right. And it's kind of cool to see him going through that and the choices he makes when the time left is so limited. So I really dig that stuff for sure.
Yeah, well said. Bobby, I'll pass it to you.
That Warlock, he's disguised as Haggard the Horrible. For you guys that are young, it used to be a thing called the Sunday newspaper,
yes.
And they had comic strips in there, and that was that's who he's disguised as. And if you look at that panel, if you look behind him there, you can see the guy that looks like Hawkman. There's a guy wearing a Hawkman mask, Yeah. And the guy behind him kind of looks like Steppenwolf, kind of a Jack Kirby type helmet.
Funny.
How did I not see that?
Yeah, like I said,
Bobby.
I'm still finding new things. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And so for those of you Justice League fans, like that is definitely a Thrangar, whatever, a helmet. That's a. If you guys go to that,
which one are you talking about?
Yeah. So the panel on your screen is in the middle near the bottom. It's the one where where Warlock is looking like Haggard the Horrible, and then behind him in blue. There's a lot of like people that you can't quite see, and behind and included in them is Hawkman. Like it's clearly Hawkman. Like holy crap, how I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and
right where the thought bubble says, "No need to worry, Rachel. We'll save the day. You'll see."
Oh, okay.
That's what Bobby is saying right before them face to face, and they have their talk.
Okay.
And that's a good one. Like you said, the stakes are really raised with Wolverine, where you just see him sweating profusely and he's not feeling good. And you don't, you've seen him tear up, but this was one where you're like, wow, and stuff. Yeah. That you don't know how this is going to go. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Just awesome, man. The whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I love the gems you're finding, both of you guys. It's awesome.
It just goes to show, I think, when you have people like Bobby's saying that have a real love of what they're doing and an interest and the time to really dedicate to it, they're gonna give you a lot of layers.
Yep,
a lot of things to enjoy.
And there you go. See, Candace recognized. She said, "I read the paper, Bobby. I know who that is. I knew it was a character from the papers. And I could not remember the name that he went by. So that's great. We got the Jackson Roy Kirk in the chat. What is going on, Roy Kirk? Good to see you, my friend. All right. So let's keep this going. Then Adam. So wait, did I miss it?
Yeah. No.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. So we're getting into Storm now, getting up after, going through this battle, Loki trying to present, Storm to the people, why she should be this goddess of thunder. And what are your thoughts on this? And immediately it gets all interrupted. You have Magma there who is bringing this. Well, it's supposed to be the hammer. I forget who it was that did it, that kind of covered his face there for a second. The Rachel's abilities throwing him off. Amara is they're trying to get Amara. There's a lot that's happening right in this moment of him trying to pitch his idea to the people so that he can get power over Asgard. That doesn't go good. And this is where Bobby snaps out of it. That bottom, piece there, he ends up turning back to Sunspot, kind of recognizes like, there's way more than the stuff I've just been distracted with here. So he steps up here, and Loki ends up trying to call these. What does he call them? These I don't even say the word, but these monstrous trolls that come out from under the ground, trying to throw Rachel off. And then he quickly grabs the stone that has the hammer in it and brings it over to Storm and says, "Storm, here, like this could be you." And meanwhile, Wolverine is like fighting this, and even though he's down, he's like, "Don't, Aurora, don't, ignore him." He goes, take up thy destiny," and he holds it, and then next thing you know, you get this big wa boom, bada boom. Reminds me of Fifth Element, big boom, big bada boom. So, and you get this iconic one or splash page here. Bobby, I'll throw it to you, man. What did you think of this moment here?
Man, I loved it. The storm, and she's coming like what Greg said with the food, with the boots, with the fur. Everybody's looking at her. Yeah, and then the guy that's yelling out there underneath her boots, he kind of reminded me of Little Abner or something. Yeah, I don't know if that's who he's supposed to be, or maybe, but Bobby gives him the Batman punch, from behind there, bam, where he's not even looking at him. But I think it's hard for me to see, but I think it's at the top of the next page where the guy, there's a part with the cart that has that stuff, that has the hammer in it, and if you look, you can see Darkseid. There's Darkseid next to the cart. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Now I'm gonna need my like another set of glasses or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You mean like standing there in the crowd with Loki?
It's like it's hard for me to see because I don't have. I'm over here, but I believe it's when they pull the hammer out. It might be further down, but Darkseid is in here. Yeah, I'll find him. Yeah. But where she's picks up the hammer and she's boom boom, that the colors on that and the it's just a beautiful. Yeah, that's a badass picture. And then I don't know if we covered earlier who did the inks, but there's like 3 inkers on here. One of them is Mignola.
It is Mike Mignola. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yep. But I love it, man. Yeah.
Well, this is definitely poster worthy, I think, to say the least. John, what are your thoughts here? Not very impressed, right, John?
I mean, yeah. This is why we paid our $1.25 to buy.
That's
right.
That's
right here. These 3 pages are what it's about. He brings her in, and she's kind of, at a loss to what's going on here. She just knows that, he's promised her something.
Oh, sorry, John. I found Darkseid though. He's up on the first page, the top right hand, the top little panel.
I see him.
Oh my God, he's pushing the cart.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
He's pushing the cart, gang, right there with Loki, top right, the second panel. The second panel.
Bobby, good eye, man. Good
Holy
eye.
crap, Bobby.
Wow.
Damn it.
This book's amazing. This is
Son
so
of a
there's so much good with this.
I love it. But yeah, Bobby says those guys at the bottom there next to Bobby say, who are these upstarts that attacked the Lord of Asgard? And then Bobby DaCosta says, we're Professor Charles Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, bub.
Yeah, I love that.
I love that he throws the bub in there before he just starts sucker punching all these guys.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
Good point.
Yeah, lots of exciting things going on here. And I love that Loki is like, you guys are stupid. Why are you fighting me? Like, this is so dumb. I've already won. My bride is here and her hammer is here. You can't stop the inevitable now. He just goes over and he knocks the cart over. He can't touch the hammer, but he can pick up the thing it's carrying it. He walks it over to her and he hands it to her, and boom, it's done. Her face when it lights up when she sees it and the lightning bolt cracks and she picks it up, and that crazy panel. Locked and loaded, gang. This is it. This is where it goes down. So yeah, I love that whole sequence. Loki's not even pretending that they're challenging him. He's just like,
right.
What is wrong with you guys? Like, I wasn't even about this. This is for her. Like, it's already done.
It's true. A couple things in the chat here. Roy, I like that Roy Kerr says, start over. We got to start over. Where are you? Roy Kerr, come on. Now you got to go back to the front. Let's see. And I want to say hello to Brother John Comics in the chat. Waboom, bada boom, brothers and sisters. He says, hope all is well. Good to see you, my friend. Hope all is well on your side as well. The thunder. Adam says, feel the thunder, lightning, then the thunder.
It's happening.
Love it.
It's all deadly.
Yeah, you really should just rock out to that song as you read this entire thing. Especially that scene. All right, cool. Let's keep this going.
Wait, did Bobby get to talk on these pages?
He did. Yeah, right. But don't you, Bob? You did.
Okay,
I did. I pointed out Darkseid.
He pointed out Darkseid as long as possible.
John's like, does anybody else in the chat want to just take a turn and
we can do 2 more minutes maybe on these pages.
We're doing pretty good here. We're cruising, I think. All right. Next up. We have. I love Storm here, Bobby. This is the smirk that you're talking about, the smile, the teeth that you can see again from what R. Adams draws. Storm there, feeling good, raising that up there. But Wolverine, he's like, hey, listen, you're being suckered. This is not real. And Loki's like, no, don't listen to him. Shoot him. Take him out. And she does. She aims her hammer, tries to take him down. And this is such a great scene of Wolverine fighting through her power of the whatever, I guess the lightning there, thunder she's shooting at him, going through the hammer. And it reminds me of the movies, John and Bobby, was it X-Men or X3, I guess technically was
Last Stand.
That right, Last Stand, yeah. So just seeing him march through this, I could just picture kind of that scene the entire time. But I love the sacrifice he makes. And at the end of it, he falls to her feet. He says, Storm, he's the god of lies. That's all he does. And there's smoke coming from him.
Yeah.
That was worse than he even says this is worse than the poison. Her shooting him. That's how much pain he was dealing with at that moment. So heavy moment.
Take your best shot, darling. I ain't about to quit.
Yes. Yeah. Just gotta love that, like that toughness out of him. And then you get another gorgeous Hela half splash page as she stands there with her hand.
Look how tall she is.
And
she is bigger than any two people in that room.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody is kind of stunned when she first shows up. She says, stand thou aside, goddess of the storm, that Hela may execute her rightful charge and claim yon mortal hero's soul. So she's ready to take Wolverine again, goddess of death, and she and Storm who has now snapped out of this at this point and realizing what she just did to one of her best friends. She's saying no. She goes, I was the one that put him in this, and I'm not done with him. He's not dead yet. And so back off. This is not for you to decide or to take. And so right as they're going back and forth, then you get Danny Moonstar flying in on a Pegasus with her abilities. And she was, I had not pointed this out earlier, but she was seeing demons and stuff around Logan throughout this issue. And she says it here. She goes, Wolverine dying. Was that what my vision meant? What the heck gives where'd the power come from? I could never do anything like that. So this is something I'm curious of what your guys' thoughts are, but she has this ability now that she didn't really have before. And whether it's just recognizing of the death or whatever that is. But in the meantime, she's recognizing, okay, like, they bring up, I guess, well, technically Hela says, foolish child, thou art a Valkyrie. She says, one of Odin's warrior maids, his choosers of the slain. So now we're okay. So she officially, she's Valkyrie. This is huge. And she's like, all right, well, if that's the case, spirit of my ancestors, have mercy. She goes, I'm targeting you. And she goes to try to take out Hela, who really has no problem. She immediately brings the horse down. You hate to see an animal get hurt like that. But she does take down Danny right away. And meanwhile, Storm is just like, what have I done? Wolverine having some powerful, just he says, he goes, just don't fall for whatever he's offering you. He's just using you, darling, for his own greed. And then goes right into, did I go into this next page? Oh no, I'll stop there for a second. But John, I'll throw it back to you. You get another great Hela panel. You get some epic Wolverine charge there. What do you want to talk about?
It's a hell of a panel, but I'm almost not quite, but I'm almost more in love with that bottom close up of her mouth open where the teeth look like fucking skull.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
you're right.
Holy shit. Like if you look inside of Hela's mouth, she is cackling, laughing back, and she's got a row of teeth, and behind it is a row of skulls. What
that is sick.
The stuff of nightmares, dude. It's so wild. That panel messes you up. If you can pinch and zoom on any of that, like holy buckets, as Bearded Comic Bro would say, that is buck wild. And when I got to that panel, I was like, oh, I did not remember that. I could not have recalled that in my mind. But looking at it, woo, that is it. And yeah, so the Valkyrie thing, if you follow Norse mythology at all, the Valkyrie had many purposes, but their main one was to escort fallen Vikings to Valhalla. So they carry the dead to the path to the afterlife. So Hela is like, what are you doing? You can't fight me. We're on the same team. Our job is to take the dead people away. Like we're working together here. What are you talking about? So she's laughing. She's like, you don't even know what you are. It's like the Grim Reaper arguing with the devil. Like, well, why are we arguing? We're on the same side.
You
here.
work for me, pal.
Yeah. You don't even know what you are, which is ultimately what
point.
Warlock saw in her, right? Warlock saw the Valkyrie, and he was like, whoa, that's scary.
Yeah.
And Hela sees it too.
Yeah. Great. Well said. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense here. Bobby, what are your thoughts here? Anything you want to highlight?
Yeah, I love it. This is, the kind of story I like, where Wolverine is just, he's already poisoned, and then, his friend Storm is hitting him, and she doesn't really recognize him, but he won't stop. He won't give up. He still keeps coming no matter what. And I can remember as a kid, the stories, of I heard for some reason in history, I paid attention. They were talking about the Norse mythology and about getting into Valhalla, and you have to die with a sword in your hand in battle, and bravely. So, I always aim for that. I'm hoping when my end comes, I face it bravely. You know what I mean? You never know. But and then that, like John said, man, those skulls in her mouth, that that's a picture right there. It's just the artwork, man. This guy got down, and he's just a hell of an artist. And the Pegasus, the way he draws that horse, and just the whole thing. And then Danny, I think she still has ties with the Valkyries. That she didn't lose that. I believe she still. I believe she still has Valkyrie. She still has that. Yeah,
keeps it. Yeah, yep. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this was all huge. I mean, even just some of the stuff that just came out of these pages was like mind blowing to me. Ryan says, "Is Mystique her dentist?" I mean, yeah, those could be similar skulls that Mystique's got, around her. Mark says, "This is what I'm talking about." When I said Art Adams is very detailed, he included all these little visual jokes in the comic. I've always wanted to ask him how much fun he must have had drawing this. Yeah, agreed. That's a great conversation piece. Something I'd have to bring up if hopefully I can meet him again one day soon. But good call there, Mark. Roy Kirk says, Wolvie is like, yeah, I'm feeling better, but I'm not getting up from Storm's lap. Anybody blame me? Exactly. He's like, I'm just going to stick around here for a little bit longer. And I had to throw in, this was supposed to be a GIF. I guess I grabbed just the screenshot of it, but for those of you can see it, it's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Yeah,
when
he
goes, yeah. He's like, oh, you should not have died in vain. It's like, well, actually, I'm not dead. It's like, oh, well, you should not have been mortally wounded in vain. It's like, actually, I'm getting better. So good. All right, we're getting close to the end here, gang. Let's go to these next pages. So Storm is so fired up at this point. I love this panel of her right next to us, tears coming from her eyes, and as she shouts back to Hela, says, "And you shall never have him, while Storm has breath and power to defy you." And you just get this crazy rainbow flashes and lightning and everything going on around Hela there for what Storm's doing. And Cyclops even says Aurora's everything she ever was and more. Keep in mind, gang, we have not seen Storm do anything like this in quite some time. So, even for the team, they're just like, whoa, like, hold on, it's been a minute. It has been a minute to see her with any sort of power. And now it feels like even more than she's ever had before. And he does go on to say, but it might not be enough still. Hela is one heck of a god, or goddess. So it's not, this is a clash of titans right now that we're seeing,
for sure.
And a really big moment. But him and Rachel, Cyclops and Rachel say, hey, let's help out, right? They try to go at it too from a different angle. Meanwhile, you see Valkyrie coming through, I love it's like the rain and the black kind of shows everything faded, but then you see this glimpse of pink coming in that one panel, and it's the Valkyrie kind of coming through, and Danny's like, here they come, just pointing them out. So I like that was a cool kind of use of the dark shadows all around, and then coming through the clouds there. Meanwhile, Loki's just under the table. He's legitimately hiding under the table. He's like, glad I am. So he says, glad I am. That's over. If the Norns be kind, mayhap Hela and Thor will destroy each other in the realm below. So he's just hoping, hey, maybe they just go at it, they take each other out. He's exactly what we picture him, exactly what, if you see him in, you've seen him in the movies and everything else. He's just like this big little kid who gets in trouble and is just trying to like make people fight each other and be deceptive. And here he is again doing it. So he's like, to leave Asgard for me, just Loki. And then Storm goes, and she goes, you lied to me. And you get these like, white eyes from her in anger. And she tries to take him out with the hammer. Of course, he catches it, says, you fool, like I created this thing. You think you could take me out with this thing? I don't think so. All this power that you have, don't forget it was mine. And I gave it to you. I created this. And then afterwards, I love Kitty Pryde just comes walking up. She's got her hands on her hips and she's just yelling at him and says, well, listen, pal, here's the deal. You better let us go. She's like, either you let us go or guess what? There's so many of us here right now, including the Valkyrie. There's no way you could stop all of us. What we'll do, we'll scatter. And at some point, one of us is going to go get your brother Thor and he's going to come back here and kick your butt. And Loki's like, well, are you threatening me? Young lady says. She goes, you betcha. And I just love that scene. She's just her hands on her hip and there's the white background. It's just like quietness and just her and him. And she's like shorter and just yelling up at him. It's just such a great thing. So you get that cool panel. And then I did want to put on the far side here. We do get this glimpse of Carnilla, who I had highlighted earlier. There was a one mention of Carnilla, who I didn't know who they were talking about then, but we do get this glimpse. And it turns out I like that there was a little bit of a shakeup in the story here where it's like it turned out it was her as Discovery, that she was the one who linked the child back to the dream of Kitty to wake up the X-Men to begin with, to bring them back here to ruin Loki's plan. She's like, you think you're going to have your way to just walk into being the leader of Asgard? I'm not going to let that happen. So she's definitely been pulling some strings and doing stuff. I guess it's going to be a story down the road that, maybe in the Thor stories that you'll learn more of. But I'm very intrigued. I also think she looks stunning there. I love the close-up zoomed in face with just kind of the half face panel. I thought was really neat. I wanted to try to blow that up a bit. Again, just some of the detail that like Mark in the chat was mentioning. I do appreciate that for what it is. So again, more great action here. Bobby, I'll throw it over to you. Thoughts on Kitty telling Loki what it is, or even just seeing Storm here, taking everybody out. What are your thoughts here?
The emotion on Storm with the tears coming down, that got me right there. And it seems like, Loki be better off facing the Hulk than Kitty Pryde. She just got him. She got him, she caught him with logic and, he's threatening me and I am. So, he's kind of stuck.
Yeah. Yep. Bobby, else to add there?
No, it obviously I love the showdown with Hela, who rolls in there very much like, this is mine. Like, why you guys are the ones fighting and killing these people. I'm just collecting the souls. That's my job here. That's what I do. Yep. And then they all stand up for him. And then the little hint there with Carnilla, I think, is a nice way of kind of tying up some loose threads for sure.
Yeah, well said. A couple things in the chat here. Candace says, so feisty, my girl. I'm with you. Talking about Kitty. Roy Kirk says, so Carnilla was behind a lot of the mutants coming to help. She brought them here, so Cyclops was useless as always. Yeah. Mark says, I never understood why Claremont liked to have these apparently weak mutants around, like a Kitty, Doug, Ramsey, powerless Storm, who I think went powerless in the comics from 6 to 12 months ago. I guess weak powered characters add to the drama. I mean, I think in what you might see or perceive as weak for power, they are clearly powerful in the mind and in their attitude and just their mindset is the way I've kind of been taking these characters, because they are they're so strong in so many other ways. So I think it definitely works to the storytelling and the development of these characters even more so, and to show, like, what do you do when some powerful, like someone like Storm losing their powers? How do you, it's almost a challenge for the writer, like how do you now keep that character great and moving forward in that way, even though she may not be as perfect as people might have seen her at one time. Anyways, last page here. I know we're getting a little deeper into the second hour here, but we're just about there, gang. So last set of pages, we basically get the roundabout of afterwards the agreement that the team has come up with since Kitty has now kind of threatened Loki. Loki's very like cool, calm, and collected about the rest of this. He's just like, okay, look, all right, you got me. Like my plan didn't work, but here's the thing. I'll let you guys go. But the rule is if you either you all go or you all stay. You can't like mix and match. And if you all decide to go, you're losing all your power. So anyone who had magic abilities, those are gone. If you knew powers that you didn't have before, those are gone. Storm will go back to how she was. Magma will go back to how she was. You're not going to have the elf stuff going on. The relationships you built here, that's going to be separated. Sorry, Rain. And basically just goes through all of this through the pages that we're looking here to say, hey, here's all the disattachments. You sure that you want to like do this? Because I mean, you all look like you had some really great things going on in some way, shape, or form. But they're like, no, this is what we want. Even though Bobby was loving it earlier in the episode. And then it basically ends with him sending them off. People saying their goodbyes. A bit of an emotional moment there, especially in the panel with the white background. Everybody kind of giving their 2 cents. I like that you have two Colossus there, the one of Warlock kind of mimicking him. We do get Bobby, as you mentioned, the Valkyrie. Danny gets to keep the horse or the Pegasus and kind of that power and that representation. So I'm very curious where that story goes because I think that's so badass. And I didn't realize that. So looking forward to that. And then it does hint that the next story being back to X-Men 200 where Loki is sending them off. And then the very last page, you get a cool close up of Loki looking evil. I love the detail on his face there. But he's even like kind of laughing and just recognizing like until we meet again, he's like, this didn't work out this time, but I'm a god. I live forever. I will figure out another way to get what I want. And in the meantime, maybe I still need to do something to get Storm because he recognizes just how badass Storm is. So a great way to kind of end this story out here. So John, I'm going to start with you. Thoughts on the final wrap up of this issue?
I mean, it works out really well that when given the chance to make a moral decision, Storm navigates and finds her correct path, right? Yeah. That's the logical moment. And Loki has his greed moment where he's like, hey, look, the Latino kid loved it here, and you've got your flying powers back. Look, this could all work out. Like, there's no way they're gonna take this somebody's gonna take the bargain, right? He's like, everybody goes. Who wants to stay? Like, he legit thinks he's got a power play here, and they're all like, nope, we're done. We're walking, and all he's left with is his action figure. He makes a little action figure, and then that's it.
I was wondering what that was. Yeah, a little doll. I was like, oh, okay, that's a little creepy.
Yep.
Bobby, anything to add here as we wrap up this issue, just for how this closed out? Anything that you want to mention?
Man, I loved it. It made me wonder, when he sent him back, did Sam get to keep his armor? I noticed earlier, I didn't say, but it just, so that magic armor, hey, he had an X on his chest, did that guy just make it special like that, or it just happened to be that way? But yeah. And then, Rachel, did she get her Phoenix costume back, or did she leave it there on Asgard? You know what I mean? And I know silly things like that. I don't know, but. And then I also wonder, does John have that action figure statue of Storm? Because that'd be like something he would have. Yeah.
I actually was looking on eBay. Now, all I could find was the 2007 Diamond Select. They did like a mini bust, like from her kneecap or just above her knee to the top of her head. They have a version of her like that. And I don't particularly love the art style of it, but it's hard to compare to Art Adams.
Yeah. And Loki somewhere, he changed his clothes because he's wearing a different type helmet. Yeah, but I loved it, man. Like I said, this was a great issue. Yeah, man.
Yep. Well said. Let's see. I know we have a few last things standing, so let's talk a little bit about high level here. Overall, final thoughts, John, on the issue, and what grade would you give this issue?
I mean, this is a banger. I've been heckling my friend Ryan Magic Lasso all day about it because he's trying to talk me down. He's trying to calm me down. But every single time I get into this book, I like it more. Yeah. Let's go 9-6 white pages on this. There's a ton I love here. This is close to an absolutely perfect book. There's a lot I love here. So this is a high grade book for me.
Amazing.
It's fun. The storylines wrap up well. I enjoyed it even when I didn't have knowledge of what happened in the first half over in the New Mutants book. But now that I've read that book, it's even better. And the loose pieces that I didn't maybe like as much have more level, more meaning for me now. They operate on another level. The artwork is phenomenal. I mean, it is really just excellent stuff. And all the characters are given fun moments. And the facial expressions. I mean, just look at Loki on these 2-3 pages here. You get so much expressiveness out of Loki. It is phenomenal. So yeah, this is just a banger. It's a top flight banger.
Yep. Wow. Well said. 9-6 white pages. Bobby, what about you? Any final thoughts on the issue as a whole? And what would you grade this on a CGC scale?
Man, you know me. Yeah, I love this book 40 years ago. And, reviewing it with you guys, it made it even more special, you know what I'm saying? So, I grade high on stuff like that. So I'm giving it a straight 10 with white lightning pages.
Yeah. With the white lightning pages. I was waiting for the description. I love it. I always look forward to that. Hell yeah, man. Well said for both of you guys. And I love the grades. I'm gonna split the difference and call it a 9-8 white pages. So there you have it. Across the board. We'll call it an average of 9-8. Beautiful grades for everybody. I'm with you. This thing was damn near perfect. I had a blast reading it. I want to return to this book. I will reread these two together. I mean, I enjoyed the last one too. I know some of it's a little crazy, but it's like it all ties so well, and I have so much fun with it. And I think a part of it too is that we get to see the two teams together. The X-Men and the New Mutants, and I love both teams. I wasn't sure going into last season. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel knowing that we were going to read something other than X-Men. Going into New Mutants, I'm like, am I going to like this team? Am I going to get tired of them quickly and be bored? Like, this could be a disaster for Omni X-Men. I don't know what's going to happen. And I turned out to love them. And because of that, seeing the combination of all of them here, it made me love it even more. Like, more the merrier with all these players that are in this this realm that Chris Claremont has created. So I think that was just such a big part of it. And then obviously, my girl Storm, just such a highlight to everything she's doing and knowing what she's been going through and being powerless and everything else. So that along top the artwork, which I cannot get enough of. I am definitely going to have Art Adams sign my copy. I might have to have him do a sketch of one of the characters that he has drawn in here again, because that's just, I'll shell out money for that, because that'll be awesome. So I'm with you guys. Let's see. I wanted to see if there's anything I missed in the chat. Otherwise,
I'm waiting for Ryan to drop his score. He keeps claiming he didn't score this one very high, but it's crickets. I'm hearing cricket noises in the chat.
Roy Kirk said that this is much better than the special. Adam gave it a 9.0. Yeah, love it. Love to hear it for sure. I know a lot of fans of the artwork here for everybody that's hanging in the chat. So appreciate everybody. Don't go away. We got questions here before we wrap up. I know we're close to the 2-hour mark. I think we're going to be able to just trim it. We're doing good. We're doing really good. We got one last little segment here I'm going to highlight, because we got to talk two things here. And the numbers, there is a 9.9 that's out there. There's one on the census according to Go Collect for CGC. Last sold in April of 2025. For $1,500. So I certainly understand and can see why. Obviously, a 9.9 first and foremost. Secondly, the fact that it's a giant size, which is over 49 pages long. So it's tough to get those thick, the square bounds to begin with. It's a white cover. So super rare. I'm actually baffled that a 9.8 is only a fair market value of $90, where we just had John, we were just coming off of some issues that were over 100 that do not reach this level of greatness, I feel, so I'm shocked if it is still that fair market value $90. I have no problem pulling the trigger on a 9.8 for something like that. But of course, this also is something I'd rather just have raw. So I'll buy this thing raw anytime.
Yeah, you look as much as the cover is iconic.
Yeah,
you want to open this book, like you want to read this book. So sure. I don't get slabbing it personally.
Yeah,
but obviously, if you could get that 9.9 and not have to pay a house payment for it, I guess maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
No, one to slab and one to grab. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
There you go. You never have too many, right?
Oh man. But like I said, there was a couple of good firsts in there. I think it was the first time Rachel wore that Phoenix costume. First Doug and Warlock meshing, and there was a Storm, of course, becoming Thunder Goddess.
Yep.
Yeah, and she did that a few times. They brought that back a couple times.
Yeah.
She's they did that on Secret Wars, Thor Corpse. There she is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm all for it. Last bit here, we always go over the MVP here now. MVP of the week. There's a lot to choose from, gang. I mean, we had Wolverine giving the talking to Bobby. We had Danny Moonstar coming in clutch multiple times with her connection with the Valkyrie. I had to throw in those bolts, those lightning bolts that Cyclops had. Hela. We had the big USS Enterprise coming through for Warlock and Doug, and then of course Storm. John, who's your MVP of the week?
So tricky. As much as I'm tempted to pick Storm here, I'm gonna go with Kitty. I feel like as a kid, and she's leading the X-Men gang. She's leading the X-Men on a suicide mission to Asgard to rescue their friends. And she's not wavering. She's not messing up. She's keeping it cool. She's giving the big speeches. She even points a finger in Loki's face, and it's just like, listen up, J-hole. I'm going to beat the crap out of you later. Like, hear what we got to say. She has no fear. Or if she does, she puts it way down inside when she has to. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to the de facto leader of this issue, Kitty.
Nice pick, Bobby. What about you? If you had to choose one here for an MVP of the week, who was your MVP?
It was tough for me too, man. Yeah, I wanted to give it to Wolverine for the way he just hung in there after being poisoned and blasted by a magic hammer. But eventually, I got to give it to Storm because she resisted Loki, and at the end, it was came down to she was stronger than the lies. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well said. Good call there. I definitely you clearly can choose multiple characters to fill this role, but I'm going to go with Kitty Pryde as well too. I mean, she's clearly she's just been my favorite now over these last couple of years, and just seeing her kind of grow into the leader that she has been, and the shots she's been calling. So good. So good. So there you have it. People in the chat, feel free to throw your MVP in the chat. Curious where you all stand there. I did want to highlight, Adam said the only problem was a scheduling issue. This came out just a few months after Alpha Flight crossover with Loki there. Maddie was pregnant for only like 5 months. Interesting. Adam also says Hagar for the cartoon there for the MVP. I like that. Storm was MVP for Candace for bringing the thunder. Yes, absolutely, love it. All right, that's enough of the slideshow. We still got some questions for folks. John, I realized I never sent you questions. I have mine, so we'll.
I hope you got yours. Either way, you're gonna have to make it up while I'm asking mine. I don't care.
Yeah. I'll pass it to you first to get it going.
Yeah, gang. So these are the trivia questions about last week when we were on my channel with Bobby in the chat and Bearded on the panel. So we're talking about the New Mutant Special Edition #1. If you watched that 2.5-hour show, if you were with us for that, maybe you've got the insight to solve these questions. We're looking for 2 correct answers. So the first 2 people to be right, and we're looking for somebody to entertain Bobby. He's been sitting here, he's been playing, he's been dropping the knowledge. He wants to laugh, gang. He wants to have some entertainment. So give him a good wrong answer. If you don't know the answer, that doesn't mean you still can't get on the list. Lots of room for wrong answers here. So my question is, in my opinion, and I voiced it several times, and in fact, it got mentioned tonight, what did the last book have way too much of? What was there way too much of in New Mutants Special Edition #1? Had too much what?
It's a good question. You might have to drop a hint, but we'll see.
We'll see. You mentioned it tonight. You mentioned it.
Oh, that's true. I did.
It did loosely come up, but you can tell me what did the book have too much? It had too much bearded comic bro. I mean, hey, we all have those days. By the way, you can still go to my channel and drop the hashtag Justice for Greg if you want to win the book he read.
Yeah, good call there. Yeah,
so far he answered twice. Greg wrote his answer in twice.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
He used 2 different accounts. The correct answer, as Adam and Ryan, is it's blondes. Way too many blondes.
Yeah.
We're still dealing with it. Too many blondes. Many blondes.
Adam and Ryan, right? Is the first 2?
Correct, sir.
Okay.
Candace, just a smidge late.
Sorry, Candace. Roy, in the meantime, while we're waiting for a few more funny answers, Roy Kirk says maybe the MVP for Wolvie for wearing the Asgardian outfit. Oh yeah, that's right. He stepped up, put on that Asgardian.
The one to break. He break the storm out of her stupor. He crawled all the way to her, despite all the punishment he was taking.
I love that. Yeah, that was a powerful,
for sure.
Adam says too much free ale. What's the problem? Never a problem. Ryan says frails.
Too many frails. Yeah, too much frails.
That'll forever crack me up. Frails.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's not.
He doesn't say it as much anymore. I haven't heard him use the term frail for a woman.
Yeah. Maybe that's a question for Claremont.
Yeah. Bobby, any favorites in there?
Yeah, right off the bat, too much bearded comic bro, man. That one.
Well done, Ryan.
Lasso. All right, my first question is for last issue. What did Bobby have to do to Volstagg to impress him? What was it that Bobby had to do to Volstagg? Roberto, not this Bobby.
Not this Bobby. Too many Bobbies.
Too many Bobbies.
There's only one Bobby in the comic book community.
What did Alberto have to do to Volstagg to impress him at the bars? They were hanging out at the bar. And there's the line. Roy Kerr says, frails went out when Byrne left. Oh, yeah. See, that was a Byrne thing. As he says, too many frails. Lasso says arm wrestle. I mean, there was some arm wrestling, but it wasn't Volstagg. Or at least there was something else that I'm referring to that he had
the twerk. He was twerking it. He was twerking it. That's what he had to do.
That could be.
Volstagg likes a good dance.
He likes a good time in general. I like when he carried him away and Bobby's just like, ow, 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 ow. I do see a correct answer. I'll put that there. There's only so many options that you got there. So, yeah, there it is. Okay, so Adam, he picked him up. He lifted him. He with his powers, he picked up Volstagg, and Volstagg was not expecting him to be able to pick him up. So Adam makes stuff up is on the board for that one, John, and Ryan is also.
Ryan and Adam holding court tonight.
Yeah.
They're making out because Impressed Comics is busy tonight.
I was going to say there's a few regulars that are missing tonight, so that's definitely an opportunity to jump the ranks here. He outdrank him. I mean, that's probably I mean, they were that's not far off either, Adam. Bobby, anyone you want to give a credit to here? I know we don't have that many answers at the moment, but
no, I guess we'll go with the twerkings.
We'll go with the twerking. There you go. Roy Kirk.
Roy Kirk.
All right, John, what is your next question?
Yes, sir. Final question for me. At the end, they come and rescue Ileana from the clutches of the villains, and Ileana says 3 words. What 3 words does Ileana say when they come to free her or rescue her? What does Ileana say?
About damn time.
Very close, Bobby. Very close.
Yep.
I would say Bobby is 2 out of 3, if that helps people guess. 2 out of 3. Oh, not a chance. That's Magic Lesson. I don't know what Justin's typing. He's putting in a novel there.
Yeah, I was thinking, you guys hear that right now?
Yeah, we did. He's chatting to his.
I had to
his
switch
fantasy
my
football league.
No, I had to switch my.
He just bought his annual the slab.
Right?
yeah. eBay.com. Here we go.
We have one perfect correct answer and one not quite correct answer. Adam says, "Who are you?"
Who? That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, no 6'7".
6'7".
There you go.
Someone had to throw that in there. Surprised that was the first 6'7" we've gotten, John.
Yeah, right.
This year,
I know. Waiting for that last correct answer or that next funny answer. You got a couple seconds here to try to get in. So far, Bobby and Adam are the only. Or sorry, Magic Lasso and Adam are the only ones playing tonight. They're the only ones. It's pretty quiet.
It's
Jackson's
a small.
Not even.
I say it's a small group at the end.
Link. He just wants to drop the line.
Yeah.
There it is. Give it to Candace. About bloody time. So it's not bloody about time. It's about time.
Boom, boom.
Candace. There it is. All right.
Ryan says meow, meow,
meow.
Bobby, who you want to give this this extra?
We'll go with Ryan, the 6'7". I'm not exactly sure what that means, but we'll go with that.
You're gonna go with that. There you go, Ryan. No 6'7". All right, final question of the evening. Towards the beginning of last episode, the team was on the beach. What does Ileana try to help Warlock with while they're on the beach? What is he struggling with? And Ileana comes over and helps him out there, or at least tries to help him out. He's still a mess even after, but
happens. Hey, it's okay.
Yeah. There's the line. And I'll be like open about this because there's a lot of, I guess, ways you could phrase that to some degree.
Ways to phrase.
Man, even just flipping back to that last issue, this is so fun. Like the Danny just trying to test the team, creating her own danger room kind of thing. That's always great. All right, these qualify. I'm going to go with these first two here. Candace is putting on clothes, and Adam says a fashion sense. Yeah, I mean, essentially trying to help him fit in on what to wear beach clothes wise, bathing suits wise, because he's not from here. He doesn't know, but he sees everybody else doing it, and he's got too large of shorts, and then he switches over to trying to copy what Ileana was wearing. So some good humor all around in those early scenes there, but a great callback to that for sure. I mean, that's actually that's a good answer. That as John Earl said earlier, he's just always trying to protect Doug. Whatever it is, protect Doug. That's
accurate. Play. That's what you do.
Yeah. Wear appropriate swim attire. Yeah, I mean, you got it right on the nose, Candace. To not be a nude mutant. Yes, trying not to be a nude mutant was definitely a way to phrase it as well. Yep. Keeping Warlock's virus to himself. Adam says, keep that virus over there, Warlock.
Yeah, techno organic for sure.
Yeah, well, you're not tested. I don't know. He's the contestant on the next What Not to Wear. Yeah, that's got to be a new segment for the show. There, Kitty Pryde can be the host.
Yeah, oh good Lord, yeah, absolutely.
Ryan says to stop dating the refrigerator.
Ouch, poor guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he connected pretty strong with Doug tonight. I'm just gonna say
he did. Bobby, any funny answers here or wrong answers here that you like most?
With the refrigerator, yeah, Ryan got it.
Ryan, okay, there you go.
On a roll tonight.
Yeah,
man.
Nicely done. All right, gang. We just hit the 2-hour mark. Not bad, John. Not bad.
No.
Just saying, for being on Justin's channel tonight. Not bad. I'm just saying. 50 some odd pages, and we crushed it, I think. Huge shout out, Bobby. We appreciate you, brother, so much for being not just part of tonight, but being part of each and every episode. We really do appreciate you participating and tuning in, and just much love, and just appreciate you, brother, for being here.
Yeah, man, it means a lot. It means a lot to me, man. Yeah, I'm going to be hanging, in the chat, and I've been hanging with you guys for a while, a lot of the same. I made a lot of good friends, man. So yeah, thanks for letting me on.
Always, you always have a spot here, my friend. Always. And again, just a reminder: if you guys are not connected to Bobby, please do so. I put his Instagram channel down below. Hit him up, talk some comics with him, read some books, and doom out with him. I love the hoodie. I love it, dude. Yeah, what? Yeah, you just pulled this out now. You just pulled this out, dude. You got the Loki. Yeah, dude, that's so sick, man. I love that. So sick, man. So sick. I gotta get that, man. Where you go to Amazon?
Right?
Can I Amazon
that?
Love it. Very cool. Hey, quick reminder, we're going to be on John's channel next Tuesday, 9:00 Eastern. So be ready, because we're diving right back into what looks to be another epic issue in Uncanny X-Men 200.
Double size. We just keep those giant issues coming, man. More and more.
We're just powering through these 2-hour episodes. Let's go, baby.
Yes, sir.
I gotta get my Red Bull next time. All right, gang. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning in. We will see you guys back next Tuesday. But until then, we will talk to you later. Peace.